Hello, my name is Oscar Gill. My fourth week presentation is going to be on Boston Common. I'm first generation American, born in Massachusetts, so I was thinking, maybe it'd be nice to, know a little bit about the state that I came from. So I'm talking a little bit about, again, Boston Common, which is the oldest park in the United States. So I'm going to go ahead, I have some slides put together, and I'm going to go ahead and move it on over here. So again, Boston Common, again, the oldest park in 1634. Wow, old. So let me move on over here. Um, it was like it started with 44 acres. The Puritan settlers bought it back then for 30 pounds from some minister named William Blackston, and yeah, it was a lot of land. Uh, Now, the reason it's called the Common, English would call it Boston Common, is because the English used the term um, commoner, and colonists used this parcel of land to graze their livestock and do militia drills. There was also whippings and hangings from an oak tree, kind of like this. There was other public punishment there, and what's kind of really interesting also there is that the Redcoats, or the British, they marched 18 miles northwest to Lexington and Concord from Boston Commons because they used to hang out there. Um, well, I thought that was interesting. Um, and there's a painting from that period. Um, that's pretty cool. Right. So yeah, a lot of people used to hang out there. Um, one thing that's kind of interesting about Boston Common is George Washington, Marquis de Lafayette, Charles Lindbergh, and Mikhail Gorbachev, and Martin Luther King um, have all spoken at the Common, that's really interesting. And you will see. I have some other pictures here, but there was presentation. There was often, we call it, rallies and things. People got together there. This is what it kind of looked like back in the 17th, 18th century, or early 19th century. Um, so, yeah, interesting. There's a bunch of also of monuments. There's also a graveyard over there, um, and a lot of the monuments they have there are, of course, from the Revolutionary period and the Civil War period also. People used to go hang out there at the park and just have a good time. And actually, they still do. So here's a monument they have there. Um, and it's really famous there. Another map of that area, a modern map. And then here we have a Civil War memorial. What's fascinating about the Civil War memorials um, is that, like, um, decades after the following the Civil War, um, there was a lot of public monuments started getting erected, and and these memorials or cemeteries were in town squares and parks and battlefields across America, and people don't really realize um, the motivations for elevating these memorials. Often, often they were called soldiers and sailors of Army and Navy monuments, were both pragmatic and noble. Of course, the Civil War touched most people, and the erection of monuments to those who had served and died for their belief was undertaken with community pride and dedication. Monuments served as a tangible symbol of the gratitude and patriotism felt by concerned citizens, and the realization became a moral and honorable obligation. It was anticipated also that these monuments might teach future generations about patriotism and unselfish sacrifice and provide historical information. You know, it's interesting because we see a lot of monuments being torn down, and of course there are many reasons why, but it's just fascinating. So here I got some more pictures um, as time goes by, and you can see kids playing football here in the early 19th century. pardon me, early 20th century here. And then here's a picture from above right now. And of course, this is kind of a fountain they have there. And okay, let me give you some more pictures. Okay, here's it's like early 20th century, and this is what the park looks like now when people go at night. And pardon me, in the winter time, they have lots of snow, and there's some more monuments there, and there's lots of things to do there for the kids. And of course, they have Christmas tree lightings and that are very popular. Um, and since the 17th century, or since the Revolutionary War and Civil War, there's always been like demonstrations there, and people go there to have the right to have their voice heard. Here's white nationalists having we call it having a rally, and anti white nationalists here. So you can see the picture there, and you can see people rallying there for a cause. For this is for another thing here, and then people watching movies or theater. Pretty awesome. So, and here's another picture of what it looks like, and this is just a memorial of the lives that sacrificed um, for freedom, for the Revolutionary War. These are over 35,000 flags here, and another Civil War monument, and some more pictures here. Yeah, so the Boston Commons, it's definitely something very, I think, very important for the country, for the community there in Boston and for Massachusetts. But most importantly, I think it's something that we as Americans should relish. So anyway, this is my presentation. I have my sources on the abstract. So I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoyed it. So